Alrighty.
Hello.
It's You and I See Different. It's Julian, Senor Brandon with me. My best friend, my mentor, my guru, my guy, a legend in the making. Honestly, one of the most phenomenal individuals, or if not the most phenomenal individual I've ever met in my life. One in 8.8 billion. Okay, we are not all the same.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
My guy's wearing the doobie.
Doobie. I'm feeling full doobie vibes.
Full doobie vibes.
Like I got dreads to tie back.
Well, we just wanted to hop on here not only to talk about life, but I wanted to say that we had recorded 2 other episodes prior to this one. And of course, the complexity of experiences that we've been throughout this whole entire time has just been completely amazing.
Unmatched.
Beautiful. I will definitely, you guys know who I am. I just obviously want to always allow the floor for my brother.
I appreciate that.
It's all you, brother.
I appreciate that. Brandon Lilavois, Instagram, legend in the making. My title, I get asked, what's your title? My title is human. I'm actually going to start throwing that on my social media. Title is human. Transformation specialist, transformation of all things, mind, body, spirit. More specifically, what kind of transformation? Transformation of mindset, overcoming fear, opening doors, understanding that every belief is a choice, no matter how it started or where it came from. Every belief is a choice, and at one point or another, we chose to buy into an idea, and over time, that's compounded and led us to where we're at now. So when we all look at our results in life, it all ties back to a choice, and that's where I come in, and that's what I'm about.
Sheesh.
Thank you for the warm intro, by the way.
No problem, bro. No problem. My guy's always like just ready, man. And that's been the whole focus, being able to get to the point in such little words. My guy has not little words, but just precise, exactly what needs to be said. Definitely a lot of practice, obviously.
And I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
In a lifetime. We nailed it down to 25 years about.
25 years.
So I appreciate that, bro. Yeah. I'm super grateful to be here in the lab, to be able to discuss these kind of things and to live the kind of life and share those experiences with you and together. It's beautiful, bro. So, always a big thank you to you, bro.
I appreciate that, bro.
Eternal gratitude, for real.
It's always going to be that way, my brother. You already know how that goes. And, me and Brandon have conversations about almost everything, honestly.
Yeah.
From the aspect of relationships to, choices and ideas and different situations that America creates to program our fellow individuals that walk amongst us and or around us in the same environment. And I believe that there is a complete cloud and there's no clarity. And not saying that it's not attainable, but it is very much to be practiced every single day. And the way that I've started to do so was honestly gratitude and minimizing and actually watching my words and what I used to say to myself. Like when I first moved into my new place, I was like, wow, this is, it's little. It's little. It's only a XYZ square feet. And he was like, you consider this little? I mean, weren't you just living at your parents' house in a 400 or 300, 200 square foot room? And I was like, if we put it that way, then obviously it's a lot bigger. Well, then why would you say it's little? And I was just like, well, and that was recent, right? That was recent. But prior to that, all due to massage school. Thank you in spirit.
Shout out in spirit.
And shout out in spirit. Thank you for massage school. I was able to meet Brandon there, and we were, we really didn't talk in the beginning. It was more of like getting to know everybody and just feel out the whole different personalities and the whole environment in full, honestly, for me. But I didn't know, of course, that my brother Brandon had been through multiple experiences in his life, and we were able to discuss this. And I was like, wow, let me just, I have to. It's worth living like this. It's worth living with gratitude and being connected to God and to nature. And I haven't stopped since. And since I haven't stopped, I keep seeing the fruition of every single day, next day results. I see so many beautiful aspects of my life that have changed. And even from, my brother's passing, R.I.P. to Zaire Luciano, that impacted me on a different level, like I've said prior. And I was able to convert that from a situation, an experience that we all will go through, which is death. But I was able to completely transform and connect with my inner self to build a confident, more professional, more characterized individual in knowing what's wrong and what's right, because we honestly have a choice. And I was choosing to do in between the wrong. On the higher percentage of the time, it was more of like, let me just do this. Let me just do this. Let me just do this. Let me go with the trend. Let me go with the trend. Let me go buy these and let me go buy that. Let me go do this. Let me look like this, because of perception of how I thought my life was being viewed, when in all reality, it really doesn't matter. It all matters of how you view your own self, to be able to build your own self, to be able to create your own future and not look down, and never look back, because we really essentially are on an escalator that just keeps going up, or it gets stuck, or it keeps going down. So I chose the escalator that goes up, and that emergency stop button at the malls, or at every escalator that that has a little switch that just in case anybody gets stuck, I'm good on that button. I rather just keep going up from here, and I say it not from a superiority point of view, but from a mental aspect, from a heart whole aspect, in the sense of being able to just simply understand growth, understand experiences, and understand that life will be full of obstacles, of course, but it just depends on how you choose to handle them and how you choose to view them. And of course, if we choose not to be in a unclear state of mind, well, we'll probably be more attracted to those unclear events. But if we choose to be in a clarity in a clear state of mind, and completely clear, I mean completely all the way down to nutrition, to a cellular level of appreciation to what we essentially are, is just energy roaming this planet. And I chose the positive one. And I will always choose the cross, which is a positive sign at the end of the day. And that was all a big thanks to my brother Brandon, to be honest, because I really don't know where I would be if I didn't, meet this individual and go through that experience of massage school. So again, I gracefully say thank you. I really appreciate all the steaks that we've had together and wine. But I think I've said a lot on my own behalf, and I just wanted to, of course, not pass the mic, but hand it over to B-Man.
No, bro, I appreciate that, man. I sit here, I'm literally just lounging, just listening, bro. And, first things first, glory to God, glory to God. It's all him. of course. And I just, thank you, bro. That feedback is amazing, bro. Glory to God, all God, literally every micron, every neutrino. If you don't know what a neutrino is, Google that. NUTRINO, smallest piece, one of the smallest building blocks of matter, they say. But yeah, I just say that to just say all glory to God, man, for real. Not religious, but just all glory to God. I think that's really all I could say, because that kind of feedback is just, it's, since I met you, you've asked a lot of questions. You've been very curious and desiring to know. And I remember being at that point and just, just wanting to know, and God giving the information. And, I'm at a loss for words, bro. When you put it like that, I'm at a true loss for words, because this journey has been beautiful. It's been so quick in terms of seeing your growth and experiencing things in my life, and just all glory to God, man. I don't really have anything else on that.
I understand.
Sheesh.
I understand. I guess
it's humbling, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, it really, I mean, like I said, I mean, our experiences are really what, and I appreciate that. Yeah. Because I've really have asked a lot of questions.
Well, no. And I say that because I haven't found people who really want to know. And I always like to ask questions, and I just never met anybody like you who genuinely was like, yo, like I told you the other day, I remember in the parking lot when you first were like, yo, like, we had gone through a couple experiences in school, and a couple conversations came up, but I remember the day when the switch happened and you were like, yo, I want to get your opinion on this. I specifically want to talk to you. We went from talking in groups to talking alone, and you were just like, yo, I want to talk to you about this. And I was like, okay. And then I was so adamant, where I was at in school. I'm like, all right, when school's over, I'm out of here, y'all. We ain't going to be doing this. So I'm giving everything I have to give intellectually right now to whoever wants to take it. And out of X amount of people, you were the one and only who really, some people were like, all right, well, I'm going to take what you're saying. And when I turn 30, I'll start. That's when my journey will start. Because, all right.
If we reach it there, if we make it.
But you were like, you were so eager to know, and you wanted to know. And you were like, can I ask you a question? Can I call you? Can I call you and ask you a question? And I was just like, yeah, I mean, this is every guru that I've ever heard about. They've always taught me, every leader, shout out to all the leaders, all the people who really want to serve God by just serving their fellow man. And that sounds like more wordy than I would like. Shout out to every person who wakes up with the intention of helping, iron sharpening iron, man sharpening man. I am my brother's keeper mentality out there, who want to help their fellow Caribbeans, Latinos, fellow whatevers, shout out to y'all, because I stood on the shoulders of giants to be here, just like they've all done to be where they are in the position of, leadership. And shout out to all my people out there right now who have taken a stand and are out serving the public, whether that be police, whether that be EMTs, the people driving the ambulances, the people responding when people's loved ones go down, when people's houses catch on fire. Don't know if y'all heard the sirens, but we heard the sirens. So shout out to everybody who gets in one of those vehicles and throws the sirens on and responds for the sake of their fellow man. You are your brother's keepers. But like I was saying, bro, I remember just you asking questions, and every great motivational person, inspirational person, leader, they all say that you got to ask questions. You got to chase people down sometimes to get that information. And, I felt that with us, and I said, dang, okay. I already was trying to give everything I have. Yeah. So I was like, all right, here's the person who wants it. Say less. Because I don't know how long I'll be on earth. That was my mentality. Now I know I'm going to be here for probably another 80 years at least. But back then I didn't. So I was just like, yo, this is what I got, and I want to give it to anyone who will receive it, because whoever can be benefited, so
can use that piece of information, and just
and you know what I mean, for their family, for their mother, for their daughter, And you came into my life. God brought you into my life. You were the guy who wanted to take it and run with it and give it to your family and your mother and your sisters and your future, whatever, whoever, the people around you. So like I said, bro, without being too lengthy, I just thank God for that. And it's incredibly humbling and inspirational to see, bro.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate that so much. And of course, thanks to you for sharpening iron with, for mutually, we essentially mutually do the same thing. And I
definitely
really
mutual. It's definitely mutual.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely that. And I really do appreciate that so much. But I did want to dive into, we both went to massage school. We're both, is it okay to massage therapists, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. No, there's no limitations.
Okay. And I just wanted to say that I recently, was able to get this opportunity of starting at the airport, and it was just jumping to different locations for I started off at the Woodhouse, like you guys know, and then I moved over.
Take your
currently
time, my
to,
brother. Take your time.
You're good.
Time is on our side.
All right, I'll slow down a little bit.
Yeah,
it was. So I
want to enjoy this, bro. You know what I mean? I'm sitting down here. I want to enjoy this.
I got you.
Thank
my
you.
my brother's laying down.
I'm laying down. So if I sound relaxed, it's because I am. Do beyond laid back.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy this.
So I actually started off at the Woodhouse, worked there for 5 months, and it was only a month prior to receiving my license. I worked there for 5 months, had a great experience, was able to massage 550 clients plus. Sheesh. And seeing, I was able to experience the modalities of Swedish, deep, tissue, prenatal, couples massages, of course, stone massages, CBD massages, treatments such as Vichy showers, black sand rejuvenation, which was exfoliating the skin and then moisturizing the skin. Of course, on my own, I've done cupping, and I was able to do a little bit of lymphatic drainage. But I transitioned out of the spa world just because it was a little bit complacent, and it was a little bit, there wasn't as much growth for a therapist at that location. So I decided to take my talents elsewhere and grow in a different modality, which is currently chair massage at the airport, where I'm able to essentially view possibly more than 1 million, not view them, but in passing, they are more than possibly 1 million people that go out of the MCO on a daily basis, from different countries with different traits, with different views on life, with different just complete ideologies, completely different. And we possibly tend to see that in customer service, of course. If you are in that realm, or if you are in the sales world, you of course get to experience different people and see, even if you're in your own community, you get to see, all types of ethnicities and different cultures. But here it's a little bit more intensified, because we're actually at an airport where people are trying to come to the United States, or not try, actually manage to make it to the United States, to Orlando, and enjoy a beautiful experience in the United States, excuse me. So I guess being at that prime location has actually, been eye-opening. I did have a little bit of fear leaving the Woodhouse due to the unknown, but of course, I feel personally that when you feel that way, that's the best time to go, as when you fear, or I don't even like to say fear, but when you have, when you don't know the unknown, when you feel like you are not going to be safe, or you feel like it's just all mental. We put this extra stress, or we think about, rent, we think about cable, light, water bills, all these bills, all this debt, right? That quote unquote that we have. But it was an easy, smooth transition. It was meant to be. I'm able to meet new therapists. I was able to meet and have an ability to, essentially use the power of touch with other people. And I am located currently on Airside 4, which is, I have the Canadians, I have Air Canada, we have Avianca, which is for Colombia, and we have on that side the Bahamas. So we have Bahama Air, and we have Atlanta and Delta. You know, we have a couple of national airlines that go to the, you know, different states. But the whole point is that I've been able to already meet, you know, people from Sweden, people from Asia, Bahamas. I saw Antoine, and then I met Antoine at my friend's wedding, and he was coming back from the Bahamas, and I saw him the other day, and I was like, Antoine, what's going on? Oh, coming back from home, my brother. All right, cool. Oh, how was it? It was great. The Bahamas was great. So I'm able to interact with all these people and give my services. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity, of course, but I do have something that I want to talk about, of course, and it's all about how I believe sometimes we just don't appreciate what we do. Other people don't have a passion for. They just work, but they really don't know the true understanding of what we're doing. And for me, massage is it's a healthcare provider. Being a massage therapist, everything that I've learned in those 6 months was completely eye-opening, down to nutrition, down to a cellular level of how we need to essentially eat better. And then I came and I was talking to Brandon, and we have these conversations of how all these ideas that America and that incorporates into the human mind and essentially tries to program so that they can control, you know, the situation. And I feel like that's a very big part of why the passion for such careers, such beautiful career as a massage therapist is completely unclear. So I'll tell you my experience. I got there to the Express Spa, and I was able to view what's around me. What is around me? I have an Outback, I have Bahama Breeze, I have an Aunt Annie's, I have a perfume shop, and I have a Starbucks. Okay, so the line at Aunt Annie's is always full. You know, that's probably 8 hours that I was there, so it was full completely. The Starbucks line was completely full. The Express Spa is, it has its own people that want to actually get a massage to alleviate some tension, stress. Maybe it's their only 15 minutes that they're going to get. Maybe they're traveling from here to there, and they just nonstop traveling, you know, or maybe they just want a massage normally, and they're going back home and they're happy and they accomplished what they wanted to do here in Orlando, and they're going off back to home. And my whole point is that I can't stand to see how America can treat foreigners, people that travel, and our own citizens of being just completely unhealthy. I see people go from the Starbucks line of having a venti coffee, which is, you know, venti coffee, there's usually 4 pumps, and that's 4 ounces of vanilla. And then you get the 2 shots of espresso, which is the first line. And then the second line is for the milk. And then the third line is where you add the ice on the cup. So the cup actually has lines on it, and it's all for measurements. If you didn't know that, now you do. And I used to work there. And as soon as they grab the venti coffee, they go straight to the Aunt Annie's so they can have a pretzel full of cinnamon and sugar. And I'm like, wow, everybody passes the massage area. You know, they look and they're like, oh, I wish I had a massage because I've heard it. Wow, that looks like a great, yeah, I would love to get a massage, but why don't you come in and stop? Well, because you're too focused on all this sugar and these aspects that it's going to keep you at a high fight or flight. It just keeps you there like, okay, I need to do this. I got to do this. And then me and Brandon the other day were talking about rush. Why does America rush itself? Why is there such a rush for everything? Why is there such a unclear visual to where you want to get to due to all these substances that you are essentially placing into your body via the GI tract. And I honestly don't understand. I don't have the answer for it. Of course, I do know that it's an addiction and that we are living in very, very, very tough times. If we're not conscious of what we're eating, if you're not conscious of what you're eating, I'm not generalizing a whole population here, but for America, it's just embarrassing, honestly. It's embarrassing for me to see Americans and people that live in this country completely degrade travelers that come to this state, don't even provide a smile. So for what? Why do we do so? Why is that something that is done to where we're so unhappy because we don't have the proper, not we, others don't have the proper nutrition and the proper focus to actually be so grateful for what they do and what they provide, that we have to take it out on somebody that has absolutely nothing to do with your own brain, with your own heart, and with your own mouth. So I am viewing things very differently. You and I see different 100%. And I'm just obviously so grateful for what I do, and I'm so passionate for what I do. I just sometimes wish that people would prioritize their character so that they can live a happier life, so that they can understand what they're actually consuming, and possibly translate that into a way better outcome from the point that you even wake up. So my whole point of the Aunt Annie's and the Starbucks and the correlation is that 70% of the population actually is completely just unclear. I want to say unclear. I would even go far as to saying delusional and deceived. Thank you, B. And I just don't understand. I mean, my question to Brandon, of course, would be, what should we do to realize that sugar is worse than cocaine? What can we do different as individuals to understand that if we eat McDonald's, if we eat Burger King, if we eat Wendy's, if we eat Outback, if we eat Bahama Breeze, if we eat, I'm not saying don't go out there and find you a fresh piece of protein, which could be steak, but essentially, or chicken, or whatever your nutritional, if you're a vegan, if you're a vegetarian, whatever that may be, what can we do to actually understand the importance of our purpose here on life? Because I feel like there's so much there's so much unclear thoughts that like, for example, I know this DJ, and actually a music producer, and he's a DJ as well, and he's great. I met him back in Valencia. And recently I seen on a platform, well, how is Manifest? And Manifest, if you guys don't know, is a series. I didn't know until I looked it up. And it's a series on Netflix called Manifest. Should I watch Manifest? But then again, everybody's there's no judgment here. This is pure observations of what I see and what I notice. Well, why are we asking how is Manifest instead of manifesting some more music and just forgetting about how that show was or how it's going to be, or, just, it's just, we really do feed our minds and our stomachs with trash, unvalued information, unvalued nutrition, just trash. Calories say that they're 1,300 calories in one Whopper.
That's probably what, a single with one piece of cheese. That's not the double, the triple Whopper.
That's not the Baconator.
Baconator.
So I guess I'm trying to incorporate nutrition, sugar, aspects of being loving and grateful for what you have, and massage and all in one, because it really does have to do with everything. It has to do with a daily life, how you're going to be the next day, how you're going to feel. Why would we think about past events when essentially we live in the present? I don't get that. I don't get why, and there's probably no answer to these questions, but what are we trying to accomplish here when we want to be a doctor, but yet again we have, an OnlyFans page, or we have pictures that are completely explicit, right? Because I believe, for men and women, if we are showing our parts that are supposed to be private, because we were taught that since kindergarten, don't ever let anybody touch your private parts. Don't let anybody ever see your private parts. So why is it okay for us to be that in your personal life and then want to be professional and taken serious when clearly you don't even do that? So my whole question is, how can we, again, I'll just rephrase this question. How can we love ourselves, and how can we allow ourselves to understand and be completely conscious of what we have? I'm sorry for the long rant, bro.
No, I mean, I think first things first, I feel you, because we live in a very unique time, a time of plenty. So I guess when I think about all those things put together, one word comes to my mind, and that word is choice. And, everyone has a choice, how they want to live, what they want to consume, how they want to think, what they want to do with their time here on earth, how they want to treat the vessel, their body that they're in. It just comes down to choice, because everything that we do, right? Every belief stems from a choice. And we choose to then operate based on that belief, based on the choice that we made. So when it comes down to what people eat, how they want to feel, how they want to live, it's just a choice. Sometimes we don't necessarily understand the impact of our choices, short-term or long-term, but it's a choice. And everyone is free in this country to choose what they want to eat and how they want to live, what they want to drink, when they want to drink it. This country has made everything available to people. So, if people want to change, if they want to come about a process of change, they find resources. I think that, myself included, sometimes the challenge is that we want others to change for their own sake. And the more I just see and live and grow, we just all have a choice. Like, I always like to think back to the old school idea of war. Like, okay, a young man turns 18, he goes away to war, he passes away, frontline guy. Does that mean his life didn't have value? Does that mean he lived a bad life? Was it a wasted life? He died for his country. Hero. So I always like to kind of take my own self back there. When I think about someone who's older than 18, you know, a 35-year-old, 40-year-old, 25-year-old, and what they eat and what they drink and how they live, you know, my own family, really, I say, okay, everyone has a choice. That's really how I came to this conclusion. I was meditating on this idea for about 2.5 hours yesterday. I said, okay, because I had to drive home. My phone was dead. So I said, okay, you know, love was the pillar that I used. I'm like, okay, I've experienced things with my family where even to this day, I have what I view as a very pure love, what I would give for my family, what I would do, how I like to love them. And that love is not necessarily reciprocated from my parents or my brother, you know, in the sense that they view it differently as far as what they choose to give and how they choose to treat each other and how they choose to treat me. And I say, okay, but now what's the equalizer? What is the great equalizer so that my nervous system doesn't hold anything that's going to be detrimental to me? And then I just say, it's a choice. It's a choice. We all work with the best that we have and what we have available and how we see things. And that lends itself to how we treat others and ourselves. So I guess to circle that back around, when it comes to someone who eats McDonald's or does whatever they do, it's their choice, it's their view, it's their life. And if they want to change it, they have resources. If they don't, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. They're living longer than the guy who went away to war, you know, in the old days and passed away at 18, you know. And I remember when I was on my journey and the things I consumed and the ideas I had. I mean, I thank God because my baby brother was sick. He passed away when I was like 5. So I've always, you know, that's why I say 25 years of work, because from, you know, I've always had to examine things from a unique lens. I'm like, okay, I'm healthy. He's sick. What does that mean? Because God created this. Is it bad that he's sick? Is it bad that he passed away at 5? No, it just is. You know, is it bad that people have poor nutrition and poor health and that's going to ultimately put them in the grave earlier than had they not eaten a certain way? Is it good or bad? No, I think it just is. So I guess for me to be able to coexist on this planet and to respect everyone with the highest level of respect and esteem and love for them, I just do my best every day. Sometimes I wake up and I have to work at it, of course, you know, shout out Dr. Joe Dispenza. But to just say it's not bad, it's not good, it just is. And we are humans. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And apparently some people want to just binge on candy or substances. Some people want to binge on drugs. Some people want to binge on food. Some people want to binge on sex. Some people want to binge on travel. Some people want to binge on knowledge. But essentially, as humans, as evolved apes, we're all binging on something and trying to do it to the best level that we know how. So that's kind of where I stand on all of it, existence as a whole. You know, that's how we live, that's what we do, and that's my basis, you know.
Yeah. I understand, and that was very that was very summarized. That was perfect. It's choice.
2.5 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I said to myself, you know, and 3 hours the day before. Because I said to myself, like, I got to get to the bottom of this thing. I've been working on it for 31 years. I got to get to the bottom of this, you know. Not gotta. I choose to. That's how I choose to spend my time. Thank God I had the time and get to do the things I like to do and come to the conclusions I desire to come to. And that's the summary that I have. That's the latest and greatest from every experience, anyone who's ever treated me a certain way, anyone I ever treated a certain way, anyone I was ever toxic to, any family member who just, you know, had another family member and chose to do family the way they saw fit or the best they could. And that's what I came to the conclusion of.
It's choice.
Choice, essentially. Whether it's a conscious one or an unconscious one, still was a choice. You you know?
I've just been through, I guess when I mean, of course, we have no power to control anybody, of course, right? And choice is very, but it's just so
It's tough.
it's tough.
It's tough.
It's a tough one because everything is so available.
Everything.
And it's on every corner.
Every corner.
You know, we have
Every second you have the opportunity. Even like love. My idea of love is helping my family be the best they can, helping everyone I know be the best they can. My idea of loving myself is being the best I can within reason, not like OD crazy, but like the best. But what does the best look like? It looks different for different people. So, you know, for me, best is like having the best mindset that I can have, the most enjoyable experience I can have. But that may not be the best that my brother would say. My brother's idea of best might be hanging out and drinking a couple sodas and, you know, being around his kids, and, you know, having a laugh or two with me. That might be his best. So I want to and have had to learn how to say, okay, you know, everyone's best even looks different. You know, these are all choices. Conscious, unconscious, still a choice.
I just been so into life since the brother passed on September 5th of 2021, because I realized how
September 25th?
Oh, September 5th.
Oh, 5th. I'm
2021.
Sorry. Okay.
No, you're good. So, you know, when he passed, I was just like, you know, it's interesting to, first of all, when he passed, I was not even on my nutritional journey. I would say I was eating anything and everything. But as soon as that happened, I was like, whoa. So you're saying that I can be up out of here? Like that? Like, you know, and I say it like that because it's just like, it's so real that I started to look at every single aspect that I can improve for longevity, essentially. Mm-hmm. And when it came to longevity, I was like, you know, what happens if I choose a little bit different, different pieces of steak, different pieces of, different options that we have available that are cleaner, that are possibly, a lot better for us. And I went down that route when it came to nutritional and looking up, looking at things, and of course talking to you. Brandon would come into my house, open the fridge, and say, "That's from Concentrate, Poppy." Still to this day, and I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm sorry, not so, but just like, okay, I'll do better. I'll do better next time. Probably not gonna get the Welch, peanut butter. Jelly. But my whole point is that I viewed life a lot different since that day, because I was able to see how easy we can place or be distracted, and be placed in situations where we wouldn't want to be in, and I'm not saying that he chose to go that way, and I'm not saying that he chose his own passing, of course, but I am saying that there is, we can make improvements to not possibly be in situations like that, or like maybe, we don't have the situation of having so much stress that can cause heart attacks, that can cause hair loss, that can cause so many different cellular agitations, and create certain, diseases, if that may be cancer, if that may be whatever the case may be, Alzheimer's disease, dementia. But, I viewed life completely different since that day, because I know that one day I will pass. I know one day I will die, but I want it to be when I'm, God chooses that, but if I can make the improvement here on earth to where I feel like I'm doing my part and he can take care of his part, which is my part as well. And he gives me the options, the choices to make, right? And I am, I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do this instead. I'd rather stand, like I said, I'd rather stand on the inside where it's more, sorry, the yang side, if that might be, or the positive side. And do things right. I don't want to be a worthless sinner. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a worthless sinner. I just want to be able to take care of myself. I want to be home by 12 if I'm going to go out. I want to not involve myself where possibly shootings may occur, because it's real. We live in this society where not everybody's there, and there's a lot of trauma around just lingering, and there's club shootings, there's school shootings, there's airports that have guns and chickens. Like, there's so many different aspects in that realm, and that
where people try to smuggle firearms through
inside of a chicken.
Cooked chickens,
a rotisserie
just
chicken.
so people don't have to rack their brains to try to go, what? Guns and chickens? What does
So
give people a little more insight,
Yeah, it's just like I rather be on the other side. So since that happened, I was like, that was the message that I got from the passing. And I love my brother to the moon and back, and to the sky and infinite universe and back. And that's never going to change, how I cared for him. But I just think that it's very important that we work on our mind, body, and soul, of course. But it does come down to a choice. And I am very adamant of being a enthusiast to living your life in a sane, safe, beautiful place, not confusing stars with UFOs, not confusing plants with trash, essentially, not confusing the connection that Mother Nature has upon us, and understanding that this earth has been here longer than we will ever be here on this planet. And no man, no woman can tell me the opposite of what nature, what nutrition, and what we say, what we read, what we view every day can make an impact on our future. I feel like it's a priority, man. It's a very big priority, to where I feel like I'm not trying to impose my ideology on anybody, but it's a real effect that we have when we are not as clear of knowing that you can be dead tomorrow, and not even, you don't know what's what comes after that. A lot of people believe in the past lives and other lives, and a lot of people believe in heaven and hell, and you'll be condemned to hell if you don't live a right life, and you'll be and you'll open to the gates of God, and I believe that we should just be completely understanding of life and death, and I will choose life on earth, and I will choose life in the afterlife if that is something that exists. And I will choose life all around. It's life in general is where I want to be on. I don't want to be surrounded by I don't like to say negativity, but darkness, self-destruction, self-limiting, these aspects that can be completely changed to positive, beautiful, great ones. Because I only can say this from my own experience. I used to use the Yeezys. I used to dress in the Playboys. I used to dress in the Supremes. I still wear them because I own them, but I used to dress with a different intention of wanting to be accepted by everybody and anybody, not knowing that everybody and anybody is not the right way to go. It's the way to go is the people that are going to be there will be there, and the people that you're going to meet in your life are honestly going to be the ones that if you stay focused, you will see, and they will come, and you'll attract. It's not like placing yourself out there and having all these, like, I have nothing bad about saying, like, if you want to wear Gucci and Balenciaga, I get it. That's not, I'm not trying to say or diminish the people that wear those type of clothings. I get it. But, and you possibly worked very hard to get to that, aspect of your life that is important. But for me, it's the intentions of what were like socially acceptance, like social acceptance for me was a very big priority. I was like, I want to be socially accepted. I need to dress this way. I need people to think I'm cool. I need people to think that I got the Supreme bag. I got the money. I got this. I got that. Bro, honestly, I can care less right now for that, because I know that if I am able to show love, be with God, be in nature, understand that everything that happens around us is not going to last forever, because I won't be here forever.
Jeez.
So I'm very connected with myself and grounded to this earth. But I also believe that, it's very important that we realize that death is right there on the other corner if you're not choosing rightfully.
Well, and I'll say this. It sounds to me like you're someone who's currently on your journey. And everyone's on their journey.
Right.
That's what they're doing here on earth. They're
Yes.
on a journey, spiritual one, a mental, physical, emotional experience. And that's going to look different for some people. Some
Right.
people are going to behave like this morning. It was yesterday, one of these days this week, maybe Monday, maybe yesterday. I saw so many birds, and I just said, it was yesterday. The birds, there's so many birds, and some people are like the birds. They behave like a flock of birds. They reproduce. They run off of their physical, biological instincts. They migrate, essentially. Their one operation, their one purpose in their mind is to just procreate. They just want to have kids, and if they do that, they're happy. And then there's people who want to do more, spiritual endeavors. There are people who want to do religious endeavors. There are people who want to do business endeavors. There are people who just want to be big and have big muscles. There's people who want to have sex with as many men as possible, as many women as possible, wear as many gold chains as possible, eat as many,
Big Macs.
big burgers, Big Macs as possible. Collect as many vehicles as possible, collect as many wristwatches as possible.
Right.
Everyone has a different operating system, modus operandi, a different way of conducting themselves in their life. And everyone's on their journey. And I think the most important thing is just to have the love, like you mentioned, for everyone, and respect their power. And that, in due time, they too will be at a point in their journey if they're not already there. Some people, maybe they already did their journey and at a really young age and chose to just hang out and do earth stuff now and just go to theme parks and watch sports and drink beer and soda and play video games and work a job and have a family. All respectable things. If that's what that person wants to do, they are successful, because success is defined as doing, having a clear intention and going toward that, moving toward a clear intention or moving toward a goal. So success will look different for different people. Life will look different. Purpose will look different. Enjoyment will look different. Fulfillment will look different. Love will look different. So I guess in this grand scheme of things, out of the 8.8 and counting billion, everyone is here with a different intention and purpose. Some people would look down upon others' ambitions. Some people would look up to their ambitions. And no one will really live to tell the tale. My baby brother passed when I was like 5 or 6-ish. So my whole existence is built upon the fact that anybody can be up out of here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you, guy I spent an afternoon with yesterday, meeting with, he that evening, his car flipped 4 times. Guy lives on the beach, plenty wealthy, former veteran, happy man, happy wife, happy life. And it was almost his time because of a decision, that was made behind the wheel by him or someone else. And that's life in a nutshell, I look at it like the sea turtles. They're born in a nest, they hatch. Some sea turtles scurry toward the ocean. The other ones accidentally scurry toward the opposite direction. Some get eaten by birds. There's some sea turtles who are born and there's a bird standing right outside the nest waiting for them to crack that shell and come out so they can eat them. Some of them get eaten along the way to the ocean. Some make it to the ocean and get eaten by fish. And then some grow to full size and live to be over 100. And that's just the journey of a sea turtle. Are we not essentially the sea turtles at our core?
Yeah.
So some people, it's like lizards or birds, just there's a massive number of us. We're here just like the plants, just like the sea turtles, just like the birds, just like the frogs, Some of us make it to the ocean. Some of us make it up the tree. Some of the birds die trying to learn how to fly. They're in the nest. The wind blows the wrong direction that day. A tropical storm comes. And that's their time. Their egg got cracked in the nest. Or their egg fell out of the nest.
Right.
And that's it. And then there's the bald eagle, Flies to the mountaintops. It's just life. No one has the answers. No one really knows. All this information is just supplemental so our human brains can create stories. But at the end of it all, nobody really knows.
Nobody really knows.
So I personally just try to live my life.
Right.
Love everyone I can. Do the best I can. Eat the healthiest I can. Within moderation. I still partake in alcohol and I still eat fast food from time to time. Well, really, I can't eat certain foods. My body will feel bad, but, I say fast food, restaurant food would be a better example. But try to just tell the people I love that I love them. Try to be a positive influence. Be the best man I can be for me. What best looks like to me. And, the Bible says, let the dead bury the dead. The Bible also says, who is my mother? Who is my brother? The Bible talks about a lot of things, talks about the human life being like a vanity of vanities, like the grass, here today, gone tomorrow, So as the sands of time trickle and we get to live, I just thank the God I believe in every day. Try to be grateful for every breath. I try to make the most out of every breath, breathing. And do it all over again with intention and gratitude.
Right. Amen to that, brother.
And love, and a ton of love. More than anything, love and respect.
And that of course is amazing. Actually, that's actually a great way to view life, because again, there's literally like no judgment based off of what people do, what they choose to do with their time.
Well, but I'll say this too, though. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. But then again, I'm the beneficiary. I live in 2022. I'm the beneficiary of a lot of things. If everybody kicked their feet up and just said, praise God, I love everyone, would we have roads? Would we have steaks? Would we have buildings to rent and live in? Jobs to go to? Careers to create on the computer? I don't know. some tough mamma jamma made it their life mission to get things in order so that the generations after them could have peace and love, safety. If people didn't do what they did, you know, I wouldn't be able to walk the streets as a black man in this country, as a Caribbean man, black man. I wouldn't be able to go get haircuts and eat fruits from across the world, eat berries and nuts from Brazil. Pause. You know, I'm thinking of the Brazilian nut and acai berries, but you know, I wouldn't have those luxuries. I wouldn't be able to just sit back and chill on this couch if no one made it and upholstered it and made sure there was a regulation so that a spring or a nail didn't stick out and stab me and you know.
Yeah.
So that's just my philosophy. I'm an island man, so that's my philosophy. But if there wasn't some tough bad mamma jamma making sure that things got shipped from across the world and that the 7 seas got sailed. So who am I, you know, really low key? I'm a peon in that sense to say, you know, if everybody just stood around worshiping God, I don't know, we wouldn't have the society we have, for better or for worse. So shoot, I just boggled my own mind because now I'm back at square one, you know. I can take that approach because the life situation I have, but not everyone has that ability. So, you know, some of us get born into situations where we're fighting from the jump.
Right. For sure.
You know, so I don't even know, bro. I just, that's where I lean on respect and love because I have no idea. Love and respect. That was my fraternity saying, LNR, love and respect. Because I don't know, bro. I don't even know. My grandfather didn't do what he had to do. Leave Cuba for Jamaica, leave Jamaica for New York, chase my grandmother to create my mom who created me. My mom had to fight for her rights growing up in Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, back in those days, coming up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So I don't know, bro. I'm the product of, you know, we're the product of privilege. Mankind has brought technology into every aspect of our lives. Can drive cars and record podcasts and use phones. And I guess because of that, I'm so heavy on the gratitude and the respect because I'm like, man, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Cats were up out of here fighting wars and doing all sorts of things. But I don't know. Maybe if everyone concentrated and focused and loved God, we wouldn't need any of those things. We'd be chilling in our own respective countries, eating what the land provided and living on the beaches and worshiping God all day like the Tainos, living in peace and harmony. They did say the natives had perfect teeth, excellent health, full of beauty. So maybe that tough, bad mamma jamma was tough and bad to create a culture and a society that led us here.
Wow, that's funny that you say that because, not funny, but that's actually interesting that you say that because my friend posted the other day, it was actually on my second episode. Back in 2019.
Kit?
No, that was Chris.
Shout out Chris. I just want to give him the shout out. That's why I was checking.
Yeah.
Shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris. He posted recently. So Puerto Rico, Carolina, es de los gigantes. Gigantes de Carolina. So they use it for sports. So now si eres de Carolina, eres gigante de Carolina. So like giants of Carolina. And I didn't know, and he found a video, which was a reel, thank you to technology, that the gigantes of Carolina were actually humans that were huge.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Huge
Every
humans.
good conspiracy theorist will know about the the Anunnaki. That's for the black folks. Shout out black folks out there. The Anunnaki. They're the people who say, you see those big stairs in Egypt and those big doors and videos? Why do you think those are so big? I don't know. Somebody were using those big doors. Yeah. They say that some people. Now, don't judge me, anybody. They say, I prefaced it with that. They say that some mountains are actually dead giants. That's why, like, if you Google, you know, it looks like a woman, or there's a mountain in Puerto Rico. It looks like
some breast.
Some breasts, you know.
Yeah, they call it la teta de calle.
Yeah, sí, claro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they say, if you look at the mountains, they look like giants who rested and died there. I mean, it would have been pretty cool if you're a giant. You can swim across the ocean. Now I'm just getting the straight, fantasy, or am I? But,
But then again, I mean,
around.
if you even look at the green giant for the vegetables. All right, no, I'm just kidding. But no, so the Carolina, the Gigante de Carolina, he actually posted the video, and the video showed the actual back then pictures of the actual people, and they were like 7 feet, like plus.
Mm-hmm.
And his question was, what happened?
Bible, Goliath, 9-footer, and that was common, more or less. We see giants, elephantitis, tall people.
Yeah.
But what happened?
What happened?
That
was his question. His question, what was that happen? And my answer was the consumption. Because we talked about this actually the other day, where I was like, why is everybody like so smaller now?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when I was a senior, I've considered myself a smaller senior.
Mm-hmm.
And when I wasn't a senior and I was in 9th grade, the guys and the women looked way more
grown, astute.
Yes, grown.
Big.
Yes, bigger. The physiques were a lot
manlier.
And I was just like,
yeah,
what's happening here?
A little bit different.
So I guess it makes my mind think sometimes of really not even like makes it think like that, but just like it makes me wonder what happened to that.
And I guess in that vein, in that question, my approach, and this is just anecdotal, my approach is just, I'll never know. So I'm enjoy what I got.
Right.
With what I got, with my little hands and my little feet, my little, non 10-foot body. I ain't using those big doors. I have to trek up those doors.
Yeah.
I can't even jump as high as one of those steps, low key. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take what I got.
Of course.
But I hear it though. That's because that's the rabbit hole. Those who have been on the journey long enough. One of my coaches, he says, he goes through the journey and it ends with aliens for some people. Not that he doesn't proclaim that, but he shows in his visuals kind of how people go on their, some people's spiritual journey ends with them questioning extraterrestrials and technology and, crop circles and where do we get this technology from? I just don't know. I always wonder who was the first person to create a microchip and microscope and operate in microscopic spaces, but I just don't know. So I just leave it at that. I choose, the bliss of ignorance in certain regards. I choose to build a base of knowledge the best I can that will operate me how I can operate here on earth. But outside of that, that's for God to know. Well, and then again, the Bible does say, lean not on your own understanding, but it also says, in all thy getting, get understanding. So I'm like, okay, be in the world, not of the world. Okay, get understanding, but don't lean on your understanding, I guess, too much, essentially. Which some people, Bible scholars who know the Hebrew, the Greek, or who don't, will still come for me and say, well, you have to understand the context and what he was saying at the time. I don't. I do at the level of my comprehension, so that's the best I have. Right. It suffices for me. But then again, I'm just a little island man.
You're not little, brother.
I'm no Anunnaki. I'm no Gigante.
No.
11 foot.
No, 11
Goliath.
foot. Oh my gosh.
No Goliath here. I'm not even NBA tall.
But he got the skills though. He could go up with the left.
I appreciate that. This guy, all in good faith, all good fun. It's just life is beautiful, man, and I try to eat my fruits, drink my water, love my people, we'll see what the future holds.
I just wanted to jump back to the ideology of me viewing and observing all this wasn't to judge anybody and what aspect they're in, their like what point of their journey they're in. I wanted to make that very clear. I just observe a lot of
you observe a lot of this culture, and I think it's important.
Culture, yeah.
Anyone who's living in this world, who has anyone that they care about, you have sisters in this world, you know, anyone who has people who they care about is gonna be looking at these questions on their journey because it's so real, right? Anyone who's in this American culture, who lives in this state of politics, you know, you got big tobacco, you got big food, you got big, you know, Arma. I'll say Arma, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, the drugs, the legal drugs, the pills. You got everything. It's a huge mix. And you have all these conditions and you have all these illnesses and all these things that get injected into people. So, you know, a lot of politics. It's election season. So there's a lot. And anyone who's living in it has to get an understanding. And I think that it's not judgmental. I think the questions that you raise are going to bless a lot of people because, whoa, you know, people need to hear it. We both have friends who need to hear these kind of ideas, and family members and extensions and strangers. A lot of people need to hear these things so that they can develop their own understanding, because they need to go on their journey too. If they haven't embarked, they haven't been enlightened to begin it, they're going to have to, and they want help. And if they don't know that they want help, then they need help. And if they don't know that they need help, then they don't know. Unconscious awareness, but, you know, it's a team effort. We wouldn't be here without people's help. I definitely wouldn't be here without the help. So,
yeah, no, me neither.
It's just a journey. So, yeah, these things come up. They are important. Wait a minute. If we can choose not to drink these things that we know cause these conditions, then why are we not choosing? Because our people are not clear, because they're delusional and deceived, because they've consumed substances that create delusion. That's just what it is. That sugar is impacting the brain, the same, you know, receptors, and it's more impactful than using cocaine because it's readily available. So these are questions we got to ask because we care and we love people and we want to help our people. So it is our business and the business of others to have these conversations. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? Why not us? We're leaders. We're men. We're the kings in our families. We got to take care of our people.
Sheesh.
Still live here.
Yes, we still live here.
That's my take.
I think that's like a power closing, my brother. So I'm gonna leave it on that.
You
note.
know,
My brother just really just.
That's the full circle.
The full circle.
Every side. If you want to chill and do your thing and lay beachside, that's an option. It's available because, like you always say, it's all available.
It's all available.
It's just what do you want to do? But I think personally,
right,
if you're gonna sit back and enjoy the beauty of life, it should be built on the foundation of understanding, you know, the yin and the yang, because then you can choose. If you want to choose one, you can choose it. Some of our loving counterparts on this earth have chosen the darkness. That's their thing. Spooky season. That's their time. That they live for that. Gruesome, gory, violence, and negative things. They live for it. And they die by it. And that was their choice at a level. And then some of our people live in, you know, fairy tales and butterflies. And they may live or die by that. Their choice. But I think you should have exposure and understanding of both before making a decision so you can choose where to live. Because you still live here. You got to choose somewhere to live. You still got a flesh body. You're going to wake up in the morning. I don't care how many sleeping pills or drinks you have, unless you overdose, of course. And then you're going to wake up somewhere. The body will be, you know, will decompose and wither to nothing, but the soul goes somewhere. The seat of consciousness still needs to operate from something. We don't know exactly what that looks like. Some people believe in reincarnation or the afterlife or whatever. Hell, they go burn forever. Woo! Not diminishing anyone's religious beliefs, and I'm sorry if I made light of that. That was just my personal view because I believe we're so beautiful and sacred and built in the image of God. I believe. That's just me. That's my conditioning, my programming. Some people can go, woo, at that. laugh at me, call me whatever. Okay. I love you. But that's the, you know, that's just my little take from my life, from the body I'm in today, until I'm no longer, and whatever that looks like.
It's just the unknown at that point.
The unknown, which we all have to deal with. So I just choose to try to deal with it constructively in a sense where, you know, I do justice in my regard, from my perspective, to the opportunity of life that I've been given. And that's all I can speak on.
Sheesh. And honestly, I think that's the most, because at the end of the day, we all individually have our own minds and brains, right? So we're all different, period.
Yeah.
So, bro, I always enjoy having conversations with you, because I learn something new every day. You know,
Appreciate
and
that,
even if we possibly, you know, reiterate the same aspects, or we go over it again and again and again and again and again and again. But what's better than practice, right?
The brain needs it.
Yeah.
It's the only way to live it, to embody it.
Right.
Even if you reach a positive mindset,
Right.
you still have to keep the grass cut. You still got to keep the garden watered.
Maintenance.
The brain requires it. The body requires it.
Yeah.
Any good guru, any good philosopher, any good scientist, any good doctor will tell you that. If it wasn't that way, then you could eat a salad once and be skinny for life. Got my nutrition for life. I had a kale super smoothie. I'm set for life. Nah, Poppy, you eat some French fries after that, you may not absorb that kale.
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending how they're cooked and what's in it and whether it's fried, you know, yada, yada, yada. But it's not a one-time deal. You know, you don't get a haircut. You don't get lined up once and now you're fresh for life. You don't shower once and be clean for life. You don't eat once and you're filled for life. So same thing with these ideas. You got to revisit and re-strengthen those myelin sheath. You know, you got to keep that brain activity going. You're going to encounter different things in life that may require you to revisit. You may have a different emotion that creates new hormones that you forget the perspective you chose to live in. And you have to revisit it. Even if things are great, still got to revisit it, you know?
Yeah.
People love the beach. They still go. They love Disney.
They still go.
They love Cinderella. They've seen it 82 times. They can recite it
Season
word
pass.
for word. You know? Still got to renew the season pass if you want to keep going. You still got to go get that fix. You still need another beer. You still need to watch another season of basketball. You still got to watch Shrek again because you love Shrek or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Listen to that same song again to get that feeling. So we don't live in a one-time life. It's perpetual. You know, you didn't go to work. Oh, went to work today. I'm set for life. Nah.
Gotta go tomorrow.
Gotta go tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can't just stay in bed. You rested one night. That's one day's worth of rest. It's going to expire. If you don't believe me, don't take my word for it. You don't believe me, try to lay in bed forever. You'll very quickly get boring.
Or you'll probably stay in bed forever.
No, you'll be out of that bed eventually unless you plan on urinating and defecating and eating in that one spot. Even if you want to. Drugs wear off. You build a tolerance. Nothing is permanent.
Sheesh.
You know?
Gave me the chills, bro. Honestly. No, but in a good way, because it's like it's true, it's real. It's real. And I appreciate you for actually saying that people need to hear this and cuz that just it's confident.
Well,
honestly.
you already shared your vision, you know.
Right.
This isn't about clout. This isn't about, social acceptance. This is about improving the quality of the people we love.
Right.
And whether that means doing a podcast to practice verbalization and messaging and confidence, or producing something that will benefit people, even if it's one person, if it's 1 million people, the vision is so much deeper. I actually heard one of the coaching programs I'm in last night. He said that he's made his decision. He's committed. He said, no matter what, he's doing what he wants to do, which is coaching. Even if he had to flip burgers, nothing wrong with flipping burgers, but for a guy who set a goal to make an additional $4.67 million of revenue in 1 year, okay, that's additional. That's doubling up what he already had, okay? So I'm just saying, for that individual to say, if he had to flip burgers to, stabilize himself, to get back where he needs to be so he can continue coaching, that's what he's willing to do. That hit me different. Committed. And what you shared with me and what we've discussed as far as a vision and helping, because our people really do need new information, there's no losing. But he said, he got to flip burgers. People don't want to flip burgers. This guy's saying if he got to flip burgers to keep coaching, he's going to flip them darn burgers.
It's a little different. That's a different mindset.
Use that word for emphasis, but that's different. So, when we can get on here and record and talk about these things, even if we've talked about it before in different ways, that's the beauty of it. It's with an intention. This isn't like, okay, I need people to see me so I can feel good. I need my likes.
Right.
I need my validation. No, this is like, okay, I desire to keep doing this so that people can keep benefiting, because
period.
You might be the only God they see. Not that you might be the only reflection of God that they see in a lifetime. You might be the only person speaking positivity on their whole timeline. You might be the only podcast in their realm of consciousness that they come across and go, whoa, this guy's talking about positive stuff? I didn't know you could do that. Sheesh. I thought I had to smoke blunts and drink champs and listen to music and talk about BS and celebrities. Didn't know I could talk about something positive and be clear. That's different. That inspires me. What if someone sees your podcast and just like, what if someone just sees the title and is like, I can see things differently too. Goes on to, heal the world essentially. We don't know that. We don't know who's going to listen and grow from this.
That's true.
You don't know who's going to listen and grow from just seeing you. See you smiling. Man, one day I was at the airport, I saw this guy smiling, and I was like, you know what? That guy's probably been through some stuff. If he can smile, so can I. We give people permission. Mirror neurons. We give people permission to mirror. And when you're being positive, you give someone permission to be positive. Is there anything better in life? Is there a more impact? It's not about giving someone a Bugatti or putting on a, to your point earlier, oh, got him a Gucci shirt or a Gucci purse or a Gucci belt. Okay. But
what does that even mean?
Did it influence behaviors? Did
Right.
it impact behaviors in the proper way?
Right.
Because you can influence people. You can get clout. You can be influential. There's tons of people doing it right now, encouraging women to shake their butts and, perform acts on men that degrade them. That doesn't make them powerful. That doesn't make them blessed. That doesn't help people, some people. So I'll leave it at that. So kudos to you for creating this, for even owning this microphone so that I could speak in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For creating a setup that we could even do this
Thank
in
you.
your space that you tailored and, created this environment atmosphere. And so kudos to you, brother.
Thank you so much, brother.
Shout out.
Sheesh. And that was Brandon Lilavois and
That was Brandon Lilavois.
Julian Luciano on You and I See Different. I appreciate you hopping on, bro. And I hope we can meet each other in the afterlife.
Yeah.
I hope we can see each other.
Hey,
and
we might be in the dirt with no consciousness, my guy.
Hey.
Like it never happened.
Fair.
The eternal sleep.
Eternal sleep.
Who knows?
Well, who knows? Yeah, you're right. Well, until that day comes,
If it ever does.
I hope. No. I know that I will always have a brother, and I appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate you for saying this guy's a yes man, you know, is always, let me not say that, retract. But you know, he's always there, and always available for assisting me and listening and just chiming in and being human and being positive and being caring and loving. So I appreciate that, bro, and I really appreciate all the love that you spread on your side and all the people that you help on your side and change lives on your side.
Appreciate that.
And hopefully, not hopefully, when the time comes, please, you know, I want to see it change from legend in the making to just legend, bro.
You know, I get that. I hear that, and I've considered, you know, all right, do I change it to something? So many times I'm like, do I change it? People write me and say, man, it's not legend in the making, it's legend made. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why I ran with that. I don't even know. I don't know. Maybe I do change it. I thought about it several times, but then I'm like, I don't know. Legend. What is a legend?
Sheesh. You want to know what a legend is to me?
Yeah, sure.
A legend to me is somebody that can leave their of course, legacy on this world and live on forever.
Wow.
That would put you at a maximum forever living human individual.
Sheesh. You know, I appreciate that. That's super deep. I love that because I think about like Bob Marley. Maybe that's where I got inspiration. Legend. Maybe, you know, who knows? I told you about wearing the Bob Marley shirts. You know,
Good.
but I don't even want to. You know, I don't like associating death with legend. I think it's just legendary living, and I don't know. Maybe I'm misusing the word. I might have an association with the word that's not even accurate. I just picture like I love the sound of it's a legendary life. You know, I just want to do legendary things in my existence, even if I'm the only one who knows about it. A legend in my own mind, a legend in my own heart. You know, a life
well, I think
lived.
I think you've done that, but I think you've actually also impacted so many different people and other people that I personally would say that I consider I consider you a legend currently.
I appreciate that, my brother. I really do. That is never lost on me. I appreciate that, bro. I've heard many different variations of feedback on the legend in the making name.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to, you know, I remember like I first did IG and this girl wrote me, like, all right. I put out one video and she was like, all right, time to change it. Legend made. I'm like, I appreciate that. It's just a beautiful, loving life, and I appreciate everyone who shows me love and gives me grace and has given me forgiveness in the past and gives me grace in the present. And I just think we're all legends. I think we're all living a legendary life, whether you grew up with one parent or no parents, one leg or no legs, you know, half a brain. You know, people out here just living legendary lives. They overcome unsurmountable odds that people like me could never even dream of even facing with a smile. And I think everyone has their own legend. They're a legend in their own, you know, even if they're whatever the situation. I don't care if they have $1 or no dollars. It's just we're all living. If you get up and you wake up and you live on this rock and you make it to see another day, you're a legend. If you make it minute to minute, because, you know, what was the alternative back in the day when people were living in the jungla? They don't make it too long. You know, like I said on the trail, if you're not paying attention every second, that next step might be the last.
Yeah.
They're talking about undeveloped land. You might mess around and step on some. Whoa, there's a scorpion under those leaves. There's a spider under that palm tree you brushed to the side. And so everyone out here living and doing their best and fighting to do their best and overcome and take care of their family and their kids and just be legend in my mind.
Yeah.
So thank you, bro. I will definitely take that in consideration because, you know,
That's like the second time I tell you this.
your boy's going to do some rebranding eventually. You know, there's a launch phase that comes very soon where it's just,
more collaborations, more sharing, because the goal is to impact generations. So, that's where it comes from. That's why I work so hard on developing this space of love. Perfect love is what I call it. That's not something I came up with on my own. That's something I was given one night in a deep meditation. The idea of a perfect love. Doesn't matter who's wrong, who's right. Perfect love, like unconditional, just euphoric love for everyone. Like the kind of love that makes you see colors that you didn't even know existed. Golds and reds and blues all coming together to form the perfect visual, but in your mind with your eyes closed. Might sound crazy to some, but if you know, you know. And then extending that to everyone on earth, whether they just cut you off or flipped you the bird. Perfect love. That's really my message. That is my real core message. I'm figuring out, because the business side of things, the business message, but my real message, and maybe I need to lead with that. Maybe I need to just lead with that, because I was asked by several people how to teach them about that love. Maybe it's not mindset. Maybe it's just that. I don't know. Perfect love. Yeah, when people hear about that, they're like, yo, I can't wait for you to teach me about that. People with kids, bro. People with kids. People with sick, like mentally challenged family members and sick parents have asked me for that. So maybe I have some work to do. I get to do.
Yep. And I think that your mindset, your prolific life is really gonna impact those generations, bro, and those unaware how to attain feelings, beliefs, words, choices. It's just the way that because when I say, okay, you say legend to anybody, they'll say, okay, Bruce Lee, Tupac, Biggie, you can go the celebrity route, right? But the actual fact that I've been able to meet a individual that is not on that level, but on a better one.
Sheesh.
Because you're real.
Sheesh.
And it's real. It's real. It's not, it's because you have in my mind, right? I say, you say, you see a celebrity, everybody, oh my God, crazy. But amongst a community that you've lived in for some years now, you're right there, you're right here, available, not available like that to everybody, but essentially, living actually here, it's a lot. It's different. It hits different because it's as easy as going onto your Instagram and scheduling a call to meet a legend.
Sheesh.
And
appreciate that, my brother. That hits different.
Yeah, it's not like 150 million followers, and I have to DM Rick to get to Scott to get to
right. I was gonna say you have to DM the assistant's assistant.
To get to the email, man. So check my guy out, man.
No, I appreciate that, bro. And it's definitely, if anyone knows in this world, it's you. You know what's coming, low key. And I appreciate that. I'll take this moment to just say thank you again, because I do everything so privately. But the access you have, you get to kind of see me in the community and around people and
in the trees, brother,
in the trees, in the Hungan. really laying hands on the people and loving the people and really excited to do it secretly. So that's real, because even I Google legend, and legend is like well known, you know, story, not even verifiable story, man.
What is the actual definition?
That's the actual definition.
That's the actual definition.
A story coming down from the past, especially one popularly regarded as historical, though not verifiable. So, you know, words are powerful. So this is very well known. That was never the goal. You know, an extremely famous person. That's really not even the goal, low key. Traditional story. So yeah, it comes from the Greek, or the Latin, things to be read, story of a saint's life. I guess I want to be more saint than anything. That would be my goal. Live a legendary life, but not even. I need a better word. Legendary is just a word that I've received, but I'm really not even using it properly because that's not what I want. Low key.
Well,
so
haven't you? Would you say that if that's not your intentions, and if your life, everything that you do, everything that you, with your intentions that you do, with your heart open, with your mind open, and if that were to come with that,
I guess that's the thing.
Is that?
I guess that's the thing. I'd be the open part, right?
Because did you start off with the intention of saying I want to be famous?
Never.
So
that's why I didn't do Instagram. That's why I didn't do social media. It took people asking me, bro, please. Like, actually, I'll tell you the person. I told you the guy from my church. Shout out to Samuel. Samuel said, you know, Samuel was in the hospital, and he's like, you know, this is when COVID was pertinent. You know, people didn't know if they could die from. Like,
right.
You know, he's like, he didn't know if he would die, and he told me, like, please, I need you to help me. Like, do this for me. So I can
view you from here.
Like, do this for me.
Yeah. Even
Even if you only help me, do this for me, because I need that.
Yeah.
Like, I need your help with this. And I couldn't say no, because I said no for so many years, because I just didn't want the attention. Just want to lay low, be chilling. But I don't know. I guess that time, you know, I've done that. Maybe I've had the season to do that. I've been able to do it for years. Cruising around, going to parks and beaches, you know, getting to go to other countries under the radar, and just chilling, and people telling me, and me going, oh, nah. But also came from my traditional Caribbean background, you know, mind them teeth, you know, can't butter. You know, I just want to be laying low. Comes from my cultural background, like a good drug dealer, you know, gotta lay low.
Okay.
You know, you gotta pack that heat, but lay low. You know, so
yeah,
maybe it's outdated paradigms that keep me from really serving the world fully. Low key is kind of why I stopped. I was getting a lot of, 100 and X amount, 1,000 people impacted, you know, through one move.
Mm-hmm.
People who were like, yo, I need this. People who reach out like, yo, when are you going to start making stuff? Like, I needed that. And I guess I had my season. What I really wanted to do was fall back and just put the finishing touches so that I would be safe. Not from the world, but from myself. So that nobody could take me out of the game, or my own desires would take me out of the game. So I laid low. And I also had a piece that I wanted to put the finishing touches on, as far as, you know, what I could provide. But I've done that, honestly, for me, I've done that. So to my brother's point, there's a rebrand coming very soon, you know, as far as changing out the IG name and really making myself more available to the people, because that's what I'm ready and desiring to do. I wanted to, you know, I got this from Young Jeezy. You know, I came into the game with everything I wanted, but that's how I wanted to come into this game. I didn't want to be one of those people who needed to coach people. I didn't want to be one of those people who needed to build a church. I didn't want to be those people who needed social media validation. I didn't want to need the money. I didn't want to need the validation. I didn't want to need the platform. I want to just do it because I love doing it.
Sheesh.
Like massage.
Yes.
That's what I told you guys. I wanted to learn how to massage because I love doing it.
Yeah.
I want to have it for the people I love. So this little sidebar, this is my free therapy. Thank you for the free therapy because it's here. It is here. I know it's here. And that's why, you see me make the moves I make and take the trips I take so that I can put the fine touches because there's a system because we still live here.
Right.
So there's the gift, there's the passion, and then there's the framework. And I've been working since December of 2020 exclusively on the framework, which involved going to school where I met you, which involved traveling, which involved coaching and workshops and conferences and books. And but we're there now, so I'm ready. I know now I can do it. I knew I had to do a little more work. I want to make sure there was no ego left. Hence, I lost some things in the process.
Yes, you did.
Sheesh. But no losing. It was not a losing because I gained so much. There were things that just fell off, like it did in the Bible. Scales fell off the eyes in the Bible. So that's what they say happens. They say, "Seek ye first the kingdom, and all things will be added unto you." Which I just got the download now that added can also mean removing. If you look at all things in balance,
Right.
If you seek ye first and all things will be added, that means that all other things will be removed. Sheesh. Because sometimes if you want to add an hour to your day, you need to remove an activity. So if you want to add profitability and revenue, you need to remove a product or service that isn't profitable. Sheesh. So yeah, I guess we're here now. So. But you already know, I'm in that coaching program and ready to take this show on the road and, really produce content from a very, very joyful, free place.
Yes.
So.
New seasons out to come.
New seasons. All things new. Shout out.
All things new.
Shout out. You know who you are. Shout out. Your boy's ready though,
And I'm ready to see it just take off.
I appreciate that.
Like it is currently.
I appreciate that because you always give me that. You always, and you provide a loving, safe place to discuss these kind of ideas. And, this is my stilo right here. Chilling, lay low. I slide in, slide out. I feel like I'm leaving, back to the bat cave. I leave out of here. I go right back into the tunnel. Whether I'm in the Batmobile or the Batcopter or whatever, I be just switching it up. So grateful. I'm excited because now things that like even being in West Palm Beach and seeing the mansions and just getting that little feeling in my stomach, like it would be so easy. But I'm like, that's not even what it's about. Like still shedding, the not desire, because possessions, there's nothing wrong with them, but for the life, the way I want to do it, it goes back to that global citizen idea. I don't need to own a mansion when I can rent one anytime, anywhere. That wouldn't even make sense to me.
Right.
Me.
Right.
Because, I don't want the burden. I don't want to be weighed down. Once I own it, I got to pay insurance, taxes, maintenance, repairs.
That's where I come in and I say everything is available.
Everything's available. So if I live in this time,
it's available.
where I can hop on this and I can rent a crib across the world right now, and then next week rent a brand new one, and just all I gotta do is fly there or boat there or drive there. Yeah, I'm good.
Global citizen.
Global. So yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready. That's exciting. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. I've been, that's why I do the experiences. That's why I'm like, all right, I'll hang out here today. I'll eat this today. Why not get some steaks and have some vino? Why not? Because, like any other good leader, comes a time where there's a premium on your time and a demand, supply and demand, and helping people at scale. And I certainly would be remiss if I let my youth and time pass me, which it can't. But I mean, it comes down to the question of how many people do you want to help? Les Brown talks about it. Les Brown, the famous speaker, says that he has so much urgency now because he sat on the sideline for 10 years thinking he wasn't good enough. But shout out Mr. Pat Palantino, because he never talked about any of that. He just did it.
Rest in peace.
He just lived it. And when it was all said and done, the other people talked about him. They said, man, he helped so many people.
Mm-hmm.
And he certainly helped me. God knows. He put me on a trajectory to earn out the gate.
And you know, I'm only one individual behind a mic currently. But I know, and you know, that you have 3,000 plus on your IG, which they're watching and aware and ready for what you have and what you have to offer, not what you have, what you have to offer. And just like me, I go back to 2021 and look at your videos still and save them, because I know that maybe one day they won't be there, because you'll be producing mass amounts of, and it's just going to trickle all the way down to the bottom. So and I say 3,000 plus, but thank God for technology. It's probably been across the world in different countries. You have no idea.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
Yep.
And I needed to hear that too, because I know that, and
yeah,
I know that it's like you said. I mean, I needed to revisit the consciousness. It's not a one-time deal,
right?
You look at the analytics and you go, "Wow, this many people felt like heard a message about God." That's great. And then you forget, and but I'm on that. I am that, and I'm ready to share that uninhibitedly. Made up a word there. Unrestrained, uninhibited. Yeah, ready to open up the flow, ready to tear down the dam and just let it flow to the people. And that's what this next season is, that, and
I don't know about tearing down a dam, bro. I think your dam is just it's streaming currently. It's streaming.
Yeah.
It's streaming, bro.
A self-imposed dam.
Okay.
More than anything, because and again, rest in peace, Mr. Pat Palantino. Thank you, sir. Rest in peace, Mr. Bob Proctor. Rest in peace to a lot of the greats. Rest in peace, Mr. Earl Nightingale. Rest in peace, Mr. Earl Schoaf. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Mr. Jim Ron. Legends.
Yeah.
And I benefit from devouring their work and being able to share it with people who don't have the free time to read a 300-page book or buy a X amount of $1,000 course and then go buy another one, or fly to Austin, Texas for a 3-day seminar, or drive or fly to Philadelphia. Sheesh. Or fly to Los Angeles or drive to Fort Lauderdale. But my boys be out here, like real street dudes be hitting me too, like, bro, you talking that real? And I see their lives change. I see them get new jobs. I see them post videos with their kids.
Oof.
And I guess you get desensitized in a world where, like, there's so much influence that you're just like, yeah. Because I'd be forgetting that low key.
And it's like, wow. Like, I just listened to what you just said.
Yeah, I got to put it. You know what? Here's an action item for Brandon. He's no longer laying down. He's sitting up. For the first point in the interview, he's sitting up.
I'm like,
here's an action item for me, and it's to put it in the front of mine. I had a board that I used to have it written on for the generations. I used to have that written in my living room on this board because of the lady who told me about the 10 generations. The Bible talks about impacting, what you do today will impact the next 7. But, like, she told me, nah, bro, this is 10. And I need to put that, I need that visual reminder. Don't tell me another tattoo. I have to have one here somewhere that I can tie in
down the street.
I have to have one that I can tie in to that message. Maybe I put it on this left hand. Sheesh.
Can you repeat that message for the people?
No, for the generations, I need to have that front of mind every day, lest we forget. The Bible talks about that too. But because like we live in unprecedented times, so sometimes you be wanting to fall back and chill. And I have the idea already. That what's coming. So I already know I'm about to be, boom, boom, in a level of purity where I can really produce,
right?
In a way.
Sheesh.
But what about the generations before that? And I think more than anything, this is real therapy. I'm sitting up, I'm on the couch. This is real therapy because I think that more than anything, I want to do it in a way that's relaxed. And that's the part where I'm like, okay, I want to do it. I have like this level 1000 mode where I press the fire the missiles, the what do they call it that the president has? He has the button. They say the president controls the button for like basically like war. He could he has all the nuclear codes.
Nuclear codes, right.
And I have this mode in me where I'm ready. Like I see my little homies back home get locked up or a little, RIP, and that stuff be hitting me so hard that I'd be ready to hit the nuclear codes button. Like, all right, all hands on deck. I can't eat. I got to just produce.
Right.
And I had the level of that in 2021. And more 2020, 2021. And I just wanted to marry that with the relaxed vibe. And that's where I've created the man I am today, who my nervous system is, and that's why I needed to go to In Spirit. And that's why I needed to lose that part of me. And that's why I needed to, I kept telling, I need to lose that part. I don't want to have it anymore. I don't need that for where I'm going and what I want to do. I can't even have that part. I have enough. I'm good. But first things first, I need to put the generations back. I need to immortalize that. I need to memorialize that again. And I'm there now to the point where I can I'm chilling, I'm relaxed, and I'm providing pure positivity without fear, without sharing fear to people.
Right. And
where I can just really change the world, change lives by just sticking to the script of positivity. That's where I'm at, and that's where I've strived to be, to the point that I don't have to go dig down to bring them up. When I say that, the visual in my mind is, explaining all the things that are wrong to tell them what's right. And my pastor talked about that. He did talk about that after he got treated by me and my one of my business partners, you could say. Mm-hmm. He said that, this is a direct quote. Well, I'm probably going to paraphrase it, but sheesh. After we had talked, he said, she actually was the one who told him this. But he said, there's a guy out there who, when he heals people, I'll just say what the pastor said. Pastor said, since we're on the subject of this guy, because he like kind of like he mentioned the guy and he's like, thank you, like an Indian guy. He was like, not imitating but impersonating, embodying the guy, saying thank you. And he said, well, since we're talking about him, when people go to his events, they get healed. And you don't see him in there saying, oh, we in the spirit of Jesus, we cast down the devil and you are healed. We cast down the spirit of cancer. He said, no, they're not doing any of that. He just says, thank you for the healing. So that's the kind of lane I'm trying to be in. I don't have to talk about, even though it impacts me to this day because my family and my cousins and my little homies, but I don't have to talk about the system and jail and this and the music. We can just go straight to the blessed part and talk about what is. And that's been my transition. That's been this last transition where I don't have to talk about just pure positivity, low key.
Right.
And maybe I just need to put that on a label. I'll put it in my notes now. Thanks for the free therapy though, because that is something, everything's available. So boy, oh boy, it's like, yo, I could just chill. I could low key slide and chill and just be chilling, but and then give a little on the side, but can make a bigger impact too, joyfully. People want it, and I want to give it, so it's a win-win-win. It's just standing in that place because I developed the character. That's why I spent the last 5 years. That's really why it was so important to me to develop the character, because I knew that I didn't, one, God will not put his name on anything that's not stable.
Right.
Two, your character will open doors for you and get you in rooms. Three, don't let your character get you kicked out of the room, because a lack of character, anyone can get in the room, but character will keep you in the room. And I guess the big fourth would be, just wanted to be in a space where couldn't be brought down, so the impact will be real, because that's legendary. Because we've seen so many people fall from grace, and it impacts their legacy because they weren't ready. And I guess 4B would be, that's why we got to prepare. You need a season of consecration. I tell it to everyone I work with. Everyone needs a season of consecration, man. You need a season to get it right. You need a season. You need the room and the safety to just, because how else can you have the character? You got to take the stairs, man. The elevator's not real. Some people are born with a gift, but some of us got to work for that character a little harder. Some of us have been exposed, touched, and filthied up a little bit. So we desire it, we love it, and we crave it until we break that. Not even break, because that sounds, but until, you flow through that. And you no longer, when I was from the Bible again, when I was a boy, I did childish things, but when I became a man, I put away childish things, and they talk about that spiritually, being ready for meat. The baby drinks milk, but at a certain point, he's ready for meat. So that's my take.
It's a preparation, and I really appreciate you for sharing that, and I really appreciate you for pointing essentially what your experiences and what you are experiencing currently, and what you're striving to do to make it more impactful, and what you and where you fly to, and what you travel and what you see, to provide essentially, everything that you see, right, is in the course of, you just said 5 years of 5
years exclusively being in 5 years of being exclusively in that space where I self-quarantine, literally, all right. The lab. Exclusive, no interruption.
Yeah.
I'm working on this every single day, and it was joyful. Gym, work, that. And my work was so flexible that I had the opportunity then to, read and work. So able to read, I think it was over 100 books in that span, and meet people and go to conferences and attend things and be taught and worked on, get great massages so I could learn how to massage and connect better. Yeah, 5 years. I guess it'll be a short version. Yeah, 5 years. Oh, actually, that's not true. 4 years. Because November 2018 would be the real, my bubble got bursted. I need God more than ever. I got to do something different to execute what I need, what I desire to do. Because I had been working to do it for years. Involved, like I told you before, involved with churches, involved with programs for years, reading the books, taking going to outside events my whole life,
right.
From the time, I used to ride my bike to church to get teaching. I used to, find a way to get taken to events, and, get all the free stuff I could get when I didn't have the money. And I guess, reading the Bible, being part of church groups, being in the community, speaking to kids, children, and orphans, and people in programs, community members, but really diving in and really just uninterruptedly, not like in a relationship or responsible for anyone else but myself, for real. No wife, no massive amount of dogs, no family members to really care for, no extended family members to be accountable for or take to their appointments or take to their psychiatrist, take to get prescriptions. Yeah. Free. And I've always had a free lifestyle.
Right.
My parents gave me a lot of freedom and flexibility,
Right.
but really going hard, next level, I'm buying whatever, it doesn't matter the cost type of development. Yeah. 4 straight years. November to November.
And the reason why I said the reason why I wanted to reiterate your time span was because I've seen the videos now, like how you were saying. I know you have a video on Instagram that talks about drugs, and you have guns, and you have condoms, and you have sugar and Coca-Cola products, and all these products on a table with no shirt on and chains. And you start to point at the camera and you say, "Is this what we're really on? Like, what is all this? Throw the condoms up in the air, throw the money in the air." You had money as well, and being able to transition from that to pure positive, like you said, I don't need anything anymore. Like I'm gonna be in a place where all I have to do is pura positivismo. That's it.
Go straight
there. And that, my friend, my brother, is gonna be amazing to witness, bro.
And I appreciate that, because that was the journey. Because the people I wanted to reach, they're living that, I was living that at a level, honestly.
Right.
So, it takes one to know one at a level. I didn't do no bids. I never been in no prison, but I've been around my family, my friends and the people who are no longer with us. I've seen that lifestyle up close and personal, what it smells like, the smell in the dreads, the funeral, the whole scenario of the funeral, and the whole situation of the trauma of those flashing lights,
right,
and that tape. But it was the evolution. I thank God for Instagram, whoever created it, because it gave me a platform for free, like Eric Thomas talks about, where I could do that, where I could have the Draco and talk about, with the guns and everything, and really talk about the stuff that I saw that was really impacting us. And that allowed me, doing that for a year straight, allowed me to be at this place where, okay, I did it. I did that. Been there, done that. I did that. The people I wanted to reach, this was my chance. They reached out to me. The people I had in mind by name, one of them I didn't get. But he just got out of prison, and he was spending some time with his mom. So that's good. I saw online, and I reached out to him, bro, I can get you free. Well, I did reach out before, but now I'm like, you know what? If I keep doing my thing, it'll get there. But everybody I had a name that I wanted to reach, I reached. Even the guy who I say I didn't get to him, I got to him. I went and saw him. I pulled up on him. I saw him. Lilavois. Yeah, bro. That's good. I can get you free, bro. I don't want it to be too late. You already know how this road goes. But that gave me the confidence and the credibility within myself. Sitting down and talking to the mother of a stripper, saying, "Yo, your 18-year-old stripping, yo. Have you seen her Instagram? Have you seen all the money she's showing? She's gonna get killed out here." And my mom would tell me, "Oh my God, don't do that. Mind your business." And people would tell me, "No, next time don't do that." And I'm like, "Nah,
that's real.
I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta live with that. If I see a little 18-year-old girl's blood spilled, that's on me, because I knew better. I talked to her. I told her. She told me her dreams.
Sheesh.
You know. So how do I look for me not being a responsible adult? But you know, we're past that now, thank God.
Right.
You know, not in dangerous places anymore, thank God. You know, the mission has shifted, but thank you for that, for real, because that's what gives me the freedom now.
Right.
Now I can just be here because I did my work. I put my work in. I've been in the cities. I've been in the streets handing out the stuff. Niggas, people talking about, you know, boy, don't walk up on me. You crazy walking up on me like that, boy? Get hurt out here. Come on, bro. Anyway, here's what we got going on, man. You know,
Yeah.
You know, and thank God I've never had any issue. You know, being real about it. You know, it alleviates that. So just thank God.
I thank God and I thank you. And I thank God and I thank his creation and bringing you to this world, bro, and bringing you into my world is it's very impactful, bro. I really sometimes I'm like, damn, I wonder if Brandon really does know how much impact he has done already and is going to continue to do in this world. Not just states, not just countries, not just your own people, but world. And I say that because it's like the next season that I know, you know, that I know that you're gonna head into is just, bro. That's gonna be it, dude. That's gonna be it, bro. That's gonna be even. Bro. That's gonna, like, you know, it's hey, you might be one of those giants that rests in that mountain, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. If that's a metaphor,
sheesh.
If those you know that natural creation in Puerto Rico is of the breast in the mountain, and that's the story behind it, and you know, I think that you'll be definitely on a Mount Rushmore, right?
Sheesh. I appreciate that, brother. That means the world, because in this life you need people. Got the chills there. In this world, you need people to bring it to. And I don't think everybody understands that, but it has to come through someone. That's why anytime someone says, God bless you, not like sneezing.
Right.
You know, especially when it's, you know, the people from the roots, you know, who worked hard to get to this country. You know, God bless you, Bobby. Like, oh my God. Thank you. I received that so much. Thank you. So I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
That has to come, you know, it has to be brought down to earth, and you brought it here for me. And you're speaking it for me and with me and through me. So thank you, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
I appreciate that. You know, you always have a very special place for that. You know, I have my list of people, bro. You know, you're on there. You know, it's a small list, but I have my list of people who are willing to step in and, you know, bestow that, you know,
It's like if we were in the ancient times and you owned a kingdom, I'd want to be part of that kingdom.
I appreciate that, bro. No, that's humbling.
Yeah,
bro.
It's true. It's true.
Appreciate that, bro.
Hey, no problem, bro.
It'll be lit. It'll be lit over there.
Hey,
it'll be celebrating King's Day every day, you know, collectively.
And we do now.
Of course.
We do now.
That's just the proof.
You know, we live in that kingdom.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm just, you know,
appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. No problem.
Sheesh.
Wearing doobies, bro. I got my own doobie.
Yeah, Florida's finest. No, I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much for inviting me here, bro, and producing this and allowing, you know, literally bestowing that crown upon me. You know, I've had one other group of, you know, person who brought me to a group where they did that. And I thank you, bro, because, you know, you opened the door. You opened the door for that. Thank you for opening that door. Well, I think that list has 4 people, and you're the 4th.
Well,
chronologically, not rankings, but
thank you.
In my lifetime, yeah. That really, you know, we're able to open a door like that.
Well, I appreciate that, brother, and you know, God bless you, of course.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.
Like
well.
always,
Sheesh.
And
it's a new day.
It's a new day, and
feeling new.
Thank you for tuning in to You and I See Different,
man.
Guys. I mean, this is a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's a never ending until the day that we rest. And I wanted to just congratulate you, of course, on your new endeavors and everything that's going to come from those endeavors and from those experiences that you're about to hop right into, and just no fear at all, like there shouldn't be. And just keep living, bro. And I know that you will. I know that you will. But it's just like, whew, it's amazing. It's a blessing, and it really is prolific, and it's very heavenly, if you may. And yeah, man. Thank you for being on the episode, bro.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you. Sheesh. Let me get my boy out of that. His back hurts. All right.
Oh, the left-hander, man. Gotta seal that. Nah, back is good. I did a twist and turn earlier. I'm Gucci. I had to seal that in, man. I gotta cement that, cause you know you've been intentional with that. You've said, now I gotta cement this. You were you like 25 years. We gotta cement that though. Like you're like. We gotta cement that though.
25 years, bro.
We gotta cement that.
Yeah, that's facts.
Since Bradley died, even before when he was sick, it was a lot of consciousness. But upon death, it just now he's gone. So okay, it's one thing when he's there and sick, because that was not normal, but it was like okay, but gone. Okay, so what does that mean? They're no longer taking care of him. We're no longer going to hospice. So my life, even that little life, had to be completely reevaluated. We're no longer going to hospice. The objective is no longer to go take care of him. I don't have to watch him anymore while my dad sleeps and my mom's at work, so that my dad can go to work that night. So things changed a little bit. So my brother was 5 years older, so he was probably gone at school, wherever he was, whatever he was doing at that age, kid age, so things changed. So it's like, I guess I got a second chance at life, essentially. Not a second chance, but that's the way I look at it, because I know I would have looked after him. That would have been my full-time thing. So, I would have been that guy. So
the level of care you provided for him, I feel like, is the level of care you're going to provide for everybody that you're going to impact, bro. And I've seen those pictures, not,
Right.
And I've seen those pictures, and I truly believe, to core to heart, I think that you're able to love unconditionally. So that being said, bro, that's
the goal was never to get him out of the chair. And I knew he would never come to. My mom told me. She said, I tried every time to get him to follow my finger. He never could. So I guess I knew from a very young age, because she talked to us like adults.
Right.
It's not like he's going to miraculously heal. The goal was never healing. The goal was just caring. So you just said something real there. The goal was never to heal him. I never even prayed, not that I know of. Lord, help him heal, God, if he can have a miraculous. I never even prayed for healing. I accepted what it was.
Right.
And handled it and said, okay, if this is what it is, then I'm going to just take care of my mans. Do I have a wish? Yeah, my wish is that we can run a race and be brothers like normal, but this is what we got.
This is the normal.
Let's rock with it.
Yeah.
We get the dancing emoji. This is what we got. Let's get it.
Yeah.
It's still lit. And it's lit to this day. And we're just getting started. So, yeah, I appreciate that, bro. I'm ready for a new season. And we're in a new season,
right.
And I've been preparing to do it from a real place. I've actually seen some people who came into the game with me fall. I probably shouldn't use names, but one of my homies from back home. Yeah, I'll end it with this. One of my homies from back home, he fell. My guy was preaching the word of God. He was married, doing his thing, and my guy fell. Ended up getting another woman pregnant while his girl was pregnant, and everybody was tearing down the man of God. Because it was so open to do that. Oh, I knew it. Everybody gets on here and talks about God, but people aren't real. So that's why I always was like, okay, I got to do this. It got to be so 1,000% bulletproof. My other guy, he made a clothing. Okay, I was making sure I wasn't wearing his shirt, because I'd be supporting his brand. My guy started a Christian clothing company and ended up now promoting booty and tights, strip clubs, low key, and girls that look like, you know, like what they are, and it's like what they represent rather, because they're a pure perfect person. That's what they are, but they're choosing to represent something they're misusing all the blessings that they were given physically.
That's a great way to put it.
You know, in my opinion, because of what that's
No,
like
of course.
using $1 million to buy a Toyota Camry. It's like, did you know you can have all the Toyota Camrys in the world for that practically?
That's facts.
You could have bought a Bugatti, chica. Like, but you dropped that milli on a 98 Camry, not even a 2022, 2023.
Stick shift, man.
You know, stick. Don't even crank all the time, low key. But I say that to say I've seen some homies fall. I've seen Derek Jackson fall publicly. I've seen one of my only real role model fall publicly in 2009. I didn't even know him at the time, but the story lingers, and it taints his legacy. Not that it can be tainted, but he feels like he has to talk about it. And we're talking about major publications. We're talking about like the publications that like people like real dudes watch, like, you know, Drink Champs and like that level, like DC Young Fly level, like celebrity Hollywood celebrity like level. He feels inclined to talk about it. So, you know, I have the grace of starting a little later. He started at 18. You know, people started, you know, I have the grace of starting later, so I'm past certain things, God willing. Not that I'm past it, but God has given me an opportunity to work on myself and give me enough sense that I, God willing, won't make a legacy tarnishing mistake. God willing is how I'm positioning that. So there's none of me, all of him, for the sake of, this isn't an ego thing. This is just I'm older, man. I'm older.
Right.
They were already in the game 13 years at this point, low key. So I don't blame them. Started out as a child. I'm starting out, like when I did a fraternity, I was 21.
Right.
So I can't blame the guy who got a charge for drinking at 18.
Right.
I started at 21. I go walk in the liquor store. I can get in the clubs
Right.
for a discount. They're trying to sneak in. You understand?
Right.
So I say all that to say I've seen some people fall very publicly, in addition to Derek Jackson, but he's really running amok. Just Christian influencers who fall, Christian artists who take people's wives, and famous pastors who end up being revealed for, you know, whatever negative side they still, or whatever actions they still perpetuate, you know, however that looks, whether it be in their marriage or their community. By the grace of God, I'm starting at a time where, you know, I was able to do all my things without a camera in my face. Unless I put one in my face,
Right.
You know, the era I'm in, social media. But, you know, they just were in a different time. So God has allowed me to be in a different space. So I say all that to say I've seen some people I really admired and respected fall, and I still admire and respect them. I just take it even more seriously that anyone is susceptible. So I chose to wait a little longer to reveal my product. I'll put it like this. I presume that Rolls-Royce saw that Infinities had electrical issues and that, you know, Mustangs, you know, do what Mustangs do. So when you get a Rolls-Royce, it takes a little time. Doesn't matter if you're Bill Gates. It takes some time because they have to build it by hand. I'll say Elon Musk. I'll age myself if I say Bill Gates. I'll say Jeff Bezos, okay? Elon Musk. Even if they wanted a Rolls-Royce, they still need to make it by hand, create that engine by hand, and, you know, okay, this is 1 of 12.
Yes.
They gotta, you know, sign the
Crafted.
engine, you know, they gotta do all that, craft it, you know. So I say that to say, that's the approach that I am attempting, or that I've deliberately taken by the best ability in my hands to do that, for that purpose.
Perfect the craft.
Because the stakes are high, and I've seen the guys. I mean, books written, clothing line, you know, Ivy League speaker, Ivy League graduate, international author, international speaker, been on stage with Les Brown, but the character didn't come along with the accolades.
It wasn't bulletproof.
And boy, is it so obvious.
Yeah.
It's so obvious when it's that way. Because then you do things and you show things online that are just,
I get it.
you're just like, oof. Anyone can see, okay, well, this guy's on what he says. There's another one, claim the name of God. And I can't do that with what I know. To the best of my ability, God so help me. That's why I'm like, God, I need you. I need you. Because the way I want to do this, I can't be one of those. Nothing against them. I'm talking about tremendous men. Men with more character and anointing in their pinky finger than some, you know, some other things, some other creatures have in their body. And I just want to do it right the way I see it. Especially my grandfather's one of those people. Church, family, business, community guy, not living the right way. So those are my inspirations so that I can do a better job for my aspirations. Thanks for having me.
Hey, bro, it's always a pleasure, brother. Always a pleasure. You and I see different. Thank you so much. Yeah, have a blessed one.